Sorry, I was scheduling a completely separate video right before you joined.
Oh, dude,
To
I'm
go up on
sorry.
YouTube.
You were
I
early,
know.
so we were like, oh, this doesn't happen that often when people are early.
No.
Oh, honestly, that's how I've always been, just super on time for everything or trying to be as punctual as I can.
Well, I mean, that's good.
I
On
know.
time is great. Our longest we waited for someone that was late was 45 minutes.
That's crazy. That's just rude, dude.
In their defense, though, they forgot and they were doing some other stuff and they were like, I should have set an alarm, and they called themselves an asshole. So, I mean,
Oh, so then that was fine then.
Yeah.
and then he was like, call me an asshole. And I'm like, you're an asshole.
Dude, I like your poster back there, Story of the Year.
Yep, I got that one at
Sick.
the Page Avenue tour.
Yeah, that's sick.
They're my favorite band, so
Yeah,
Chris
they're sick.
doesn't ever get sick of hearing that ever.
And never.
It's just because they're amazing. Like, you know what's crazy? The first time I ever heard of that band was through a game called Need for Speed
Oh yeah, I think
Underground.
they had a song on there, yeah.
They had a song on there, and I was like mind blown when I heard that song.
Can't remember what song it was.
It wasn't until the day I die. It was
Why do I
honestly
feel
I forgot the name of it.
Anthem of Our Dying Day?
I think that's it.
It could be that.
Yeah, I think that's
Nope.
it.
And the hero will
And
drown.
the Hero Will
And
Drown.
there you go.
Hey, but it's on the right album, right? So
Yes.
we at least
Iconic
we got
though.
that right. So yeah, you all set, Chris? You got everything taken care
Yeah,
of?
I'm good. Obviously, I mean, I ran to the Google real quick, so I'm good.
Sweet.
I'm ready.
Anytime we talk about something, and I'm like, Chris is totally just going to be Googling this right now. I can
I
tell because he looks off.
I look off to the left. I've always got Google up and ready in case we need to look something up. You
Dude,
In case
never
that's
know.
someone
smart.
needs to verify something that we're talking
Yeah, that's
about.
really smart.
I don't do that. I don't have this fun setup with multiple screens or anything. I just have a laptop, my phone, and my microphone.
I mean, you could do it through your phone, but dude, do
I
you
could.
Chris, do you game by any chance?
Um,
Not really.
I'm gonna say not seriously.
Okay.
But I do play quite a bit of games, yes. But
Okay.
like if you're talking about all the games that everybody else would be playing, probably not.
Okay, okay. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I'm not
I
a
just
crazy
take you as a
gamer.
gamer.
Um,
Back in the day, I gamed a lot more. I got into like Call of Duty back in the day and got an
Oh,
Xbox and everything.
you
yeah,
know
I
what I
sometimes play COD, but
you know what I just started replaying? There was a game on Xbox 360 called The Saboteur, which was like World War II occupied France, and you play as a saboteur and trying to like mess with the Nazis. It's pretty fun.
oh, that's interesting. Holy shit.
You mess with Nazis.
You mess with Nazis. That's putting it lightly. Um,
It's putting it lightly. Gonna have to check that out, right?
they just re-released it on Steam and they upscaled the graphics a little bit. So
Dude, I love when video games do that. It just makes the experience much better, in my opinion.
the only thing that's bad is it's screwed with the map. So it's like, oh, here's your pin drop, and it's not really where it's leading you to on the mini map. I'm like, okay, this is awful. Thankfully, I had enough hours in the game on the 360 where I kind of remember where things are.
Yeah, my husband got back into like Red Dead Redemption, but the cowboy one.
Oh, I've never played that game, but everybody tells me to play that.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like has a revival of its own.
yeah, yeah.
So, all right, well, let's get this party started, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
So, typical first question, could you please introduce yourself and tell us what inspired you to start creating music?
My name's Johnny, and I go by the artist name of Lil Used. And what inspired me for making music is just like expressing myself on how I feel and trying to put it out there all the time. And watching all these bands like like the Used from First to Last, like it just inspired me to make music. And you know, being in bands too, like with homies and stuff, like hanging out. It's something I've always wanted to do. So that's why I started Lil Used.
How did
Did
you
you
land
have
on that name?
Oh,
That's a good question, dude. So back in the day, like when Lil Peep was like really popular. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lil Peep,
I've only
but
heard of Lil Peep from a coworker, but she's also like 22 years old.
so yeah, like I listened to his stuff and I'm like, I was actually telling my friend, I was like, um, I can come up with similar music and I feel like I can make a song pop off. And which I ended up doing that. And that's how the name came upon from like it was inspired by Lil Peep. So that's how I came up with it. It was more like a joke in the beginning and then it got serious after. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stick with it now because I got a song to do pretty decent for my first release as Lil Used. So I just stuck with it and here I am now, you know?
You're just part of the Lils.
Yeah, but everybody always tells me, like, every time I try to book a show, they're like, "Are you a rapper? Are you a rapper?" And I'm like, I kind of was in the beginning, and then I started making like straight up emo music and like rock music, and honestly, I love it. I love it more than like the rap stuff, to be
Yeah.
honest. For sure. It just feels more me, you know? It's like what I
Well, you're
grew up
refining
on.
yourself and your sound.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just curious, do you remember the first emo album you picked up? And what was it that made the album stick with you?
Um, I can't believe I can't remember the name of the album, but it was a From First to Last album. And I can't believe I can't remember right now, but I'm having a brain fart. But it was From First to Last. That was like the first. No, I'm lying. It was Green Day. Oh my God. How do I forget that? It was at Target. I was at Target and I was like, dude, like, what is this? You know? And I picked it up and I told my dad, I was like, I need this. Can you get it for me? And he's like, sure. And I fell in love with Green Day from the from the first day I heard it. So that was my first album that I just loved.
Do you remember which album it was?
Um, I'm really bad with names. It was I can't believe I'm like forgetting this, but it's the one with the grenade. You know, the iconic one.
Okay.
Dookie.
No, 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 the one after the. I have to like look
It's the
this
one with the
up.
grenade. Dookie has like
Yeah.
the giant explosion on it.
I don't
Yes,
know. I
I
guess my
think the
life is just
grenade
full of shit.
is oh, I can't think of what one the grenade is either.
dude. It's like slipping my mind. American Idiot. Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
so
was gonna say, isn't it American
Jesus.
Idiot? Ah,
Yes,
elder emo brains.
dude, for real.
So you've been releasing music since 2019.
Yes.
How do you feel your music has evolved since the first song you released to their most recent album that just came out in July?
Oh, it's so much better now. Like I was actually listening back and I'm like, oh God, like I couldn't even listen through the whole track. Like for my first songs that I released, I was like, the new stuff that that I just put out with that album, you can't like for me, I can't even compare. It's just so much better. It's so much me, like it's like what I actually love. So it's just to me, it's so much better.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to some of your older stuff, but mostly I listened to the new record. But I can
Yeah, my
definitely tell there's like a progression and definitely changed your style.
yes, after collabing with like for When You Can't Breathe. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but also that's like one of my friends who started like helping me like produce my stuff. And after like working with him, it kind of I felt like I evolved somewhat. Like it made me a better songwriter thanks to him. And then I met my producer Pete, which after that we recorded this album and it's my favorite thing that I've ever done. So
So, how was your Emo Night album release?
so it wasn't technically an album release. I didn't like promote it as that because emo night. Have you guys been to an emo night?
Yeah.
So
Chris has, I have not.
it's just more for like the people who want to listen to the nostalgic like emo stuff. So they didn't really promote it as my album release, but it turned out pretty good. There was like 50, 60 people while I played, which was pretty cool. It was hot, super hot. It was like upstairs, but the top was like opened, but it was enclosed at the same time. So, but it was just extremely hot. I was like on stage. I felt like I was gonna pass out from it was insane, but it turned out pretty good. sold some merch, got to meet new people. People followed me from that show, and I got different shows from that. So I
Yeah,
say it's a win for
it was
sure.
a win. Well, that's
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
Yeah, I have never been to an emo night yet. Every time they come around my area, I'm from Wisconsin, so I live pretty close to Milwaukee. And I just can't ever go because it's like either on a weird night or I already have something planned, or my husband just doesn't want to go.
Being a grown up sometimes sucks, you know?
Right?
You
I
just
have to
can't make it
adult
out.
and think of things, other things first. But yeah,
Exactly. I mean, but for me, I got to do them all, as an artist. I just got to put myself in those spots. So,
yeah,
but they're definitely fun. Chris says he's been to one, so I mean, they're
Yeah, a
they're really
couple.
fun though.
They are fun, and every once in a while they do pull on like a surprise guest. Um, like you can
Yeah,
definitely find some videos on YouTube where they pull out. I think like very recently, I think Avril was at one of them.
yes,
Um,
Matson was at the one that I performed at. And then I think MGK has been there, which
mhm.
is crazy. So there's
I,
some, and they always have like, you know, I think I don't know if Kellen or Vic Fuentes has been to some of those, but they always have like frontman singers on there, which is pretty cool, to get to meet them and stuff.
yeah, I know Ryan Key goes with like Emo Night Brooklyn a bunch.
Oh yeah, I saw him play at I think it was at the Echo in LA. He was like playing an acoustic set, which I think it's sick.
Yeah.
I think it's dope.
So, speaking of the new album, Aftershock of Bad Luck is one of my personal favorites from that album. Turns out it's just his favorite too. Um, to me, it's just kind of such a strong power ballad. Kind of unexpected, kind of with the rest of the album feel. But it definitely resonated quite deeply. Is there a different approach that you use while writing and creating a song like that versus everything else on the album?
It's pretty much I go based off like personal experiences that I've been through. So that's how I wrote everything. And when I went in with Pete, again, like my producer, he really helped me. Like I have to shout him out because you guys have no idea how much he helped me write this album. Like it was like a 50-50 kind of thing. But I came to him and I'm like, this is like what I want the song to be about, and he kind of just helped me through. So the process of the album was kind of the same, and whatever I felt like writing in that day is what I just picked up the guitar and just wrote that, and it came out, and it was very influenced by like Simple Plan. I don't know if you feel like some of their ballad stuff, so that's what I kind of wanted to write, but then I made it my own in a way, and then it came out the way it did, and dude, I think it came out great.
That's a great song.
it is.
Yeah.
I
So
also,
that's your personal favorite from the
Yeah,
yeah,
album?
yeah.
Okay.
that's the one. And we don't always agree on things.
What correction? We seldom agree.
Yeah, that's so cool because honestly, a lot of people have been saying their favorite from the album is what's it called When We First Met.
Funny thing, that's my other favorite.
Yeah, that one. And I have like DJs like hitting me up to do remixes of that song, like rocktronic remixes. So I'm like super excited about that, man. I love like the whole rocktronic stuff, like going like EDM with emo. So and they're gonna do that song too that you guys like, which is gonna be cool, I think.
I can't wait to hear it and see how much it changes.
It'll change a little bit. It'll have like an EDM like drop on there, but it's gonna be sick.
Skrillex.
But that's what they do.
I mean, he wasn't from first to last originally.
Man, I love Sonny, man. When he was in that band, I literally had him on my binders when I was in high school, right in the front. I had him everywhere. He's my biggest influence. Like he inspired me to do all this stuff. His voice, and I don't know, it just
See,
that's the reason I sing.
I always feel like I was a late bloomer because like I graduated high school in '02, and I feel like I didn't really get into like the emo scene until like 2000, 2001. And I feel like that's kind of late in my game, I feel like because the early 90, like late 98 and stuff, there was a lot of stuff coming out then because Warp Tour started in 95, right?
Yeah, but wasn't it? I think it was like
It was
pop.
like It
like
was
punk,
originally like
right?
punk, and it was like one or
Yeah,
two stops in a parking lot with like Rancid and No Effects, and like
right.
people that you would not associate with Warped Tour is how it started. And then like starting around 98 or 99 is when Kevin Lyman started throwing on more kind of broader genres.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't know the like a lot of the history from Warped Tour, but I mean, I think 2001 was like about the same time I got into it.
Yeah.
Like if
So
I
maybe
can
I'm not
remember
a late
correctly.
late bloomer. I just feel like I
Yeah,
am.
it's same for me. It was right around there. I think I guess Student Rick, they were pretty dang emo, right? Um
I think so.
it,
I just keep hearing people talk about in middle school I was starting to get into emo. I'm like, what?
yeah, but they were probably in middle school in like 2009 or something.
Probably.
Depends on the age gap
I know there
too.
is some weird age gaps, and then sometimes I hear
Yeah.
people talking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, middle school? I was like in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got into like emo music in no, I did get into it in 8th grade, which was middle school, but beginning like right when I was going to graduate going into high school is when I really started getting into the style of it too,
Right.
like the actual image of it. So,
I would
yeah,
say
it was
though,
like around that time.
I feel like in middle school I probably got into like Green Day or something because my brother, because I had an older brother. So I mean,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
middle school I was already listening to like rock music and some punk stuff because of my brother. So I didn't get into the emo phase though until I hit high school.
Yeah, no,
Same,
I
same
didn't
here.
like I probably really didn't hit it because I was like punk and ska up until like senior year of high school. And then I picked up that Take Action compilation, and that was like 2004. And it just took over immediately. So I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I miss Warped Tour though, man.
yeah.
Yep. I feel like
So,
somehow Warped Tour comes up in almost every one of our interviews.
it's just because it's iconic and it's like, why is it gone? Like it kind of sucks because
Did you happen to listen to Kevin Lyman's podcast?
I have not.
He does have a podcast that he did. It was more towards like COVID time. He decided to start it. And he
Okay.
does talk about how like he never ever made a profit off a Warped Tour. He like was lucky to break even, he said.
That's actually insane because, in our minds, well, at least mine, I always thought that thing was just a successful event. So I
Yeah.
was like, how is he not? I guess he just did it for the love of music. That's
Yep.
what it seems like,
He really
helping
did.
bands. Yeah, that's now that's a new, I should watch that podcast. Maybe I'll get a better understanding of everything of
Yeah.
what happened.
I can send it to you and tell you what it is. We'll talk
Please,
later about it.
please.
So swinging back to your music, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I loved all the musical elements that were pulled in for "The World Is Poison." Um, while creating a song, was there ever an element that you really wanted to make work for a song, but just couldn't seem to make it fit right?
Actually, everything that I imagined to this album went the way that I wanted it to. And there hasn't I everything I tried, it just kind of worked, man. And I'm just grateful for it. That's why I love this album so much because everything that I tried, it really worked out. And again, my producer made it happen somewhat. And we didn't have any problems with that, which was it's great, man. Honestly. But with that World is Poison, it does have like an emo like trap beat on there,
Hmm.
like in the beginning of it. So I still wanted to capture at least one song of how I started Little Used, you know? Like I wanted to have something like that element of how my project started. So at least, one track and I think it came out perfect, man, to be honest. I'm just really happy about the album, man. Everything about it. Like you have no idea how good like
You
I
should be
felt
happy.
like
It's a great
yeah.
album.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, so we're gonna pull this right back to Warped Tour in like 2 seconds. Because I was gonna bring up while actually listening to this album, I felt that wave of nostalgia hit me. It really felt like it fit in on one of those stages at Warped Tour, sweating my ass off in the middle of a hot summer day in a parking lot. Um, was
Dude.
that was that influence anything that like snuck its way into this album? But I'll say on purpose.
um I wouldn't say it was like written like for Warped Tour or anything influenced by Warped Tour, but since all the bands that started playing Warped Tours, I wanted to capture that nostalgic sound. So in a way, yes. So obviously, because I grew up with that OG like emo music, so I wanted to capture that sound. So I mean, in a way, yes, it was a, like I can definitely see myself, playing a Warped Tour with this music, So I guess in a way, yes, it was influenced by Warped Tour.
I feel like a lot of musicians had to be influenced by Warped Tour if you grew up in that time period, for
That was the
sure.
dream. Like everybody's dream was to play Warped Tour. Like everyone that was in a band, which I've been in plenty of bands before, and that was like our main goal to play Warped Tour. And and I feel like the dream was the same for every other person that was in a band. Like that was like their main goal in a way. So
Yeah. I remember trying to get people in line to listen to a friend's band that was playing Warped Tour. It was so much fun trying to like be like, "Hey, listen to this CD."
I do not know how people can do that. I'm such a like I feel like I'm a shy person. So like when it comes to like trying to talk to people in person, I don't know how they did that. Going up to random people and just like, "Hey, check out my music." Like, no, I was like this like shy dude back then. I was like, I forgot how old I was, but there's no way I could have done something like that.
I mean, I recently went to Not Just a Phase Fest in Milwaukee, and I actually interviewed some fans. And that was kind of like, I'm like, I gotta just rip off the Band-Aid and be like, "Hey, so do you want to talk to me?" And a
Yeah,
lot of times they were like, "No, we're good. I got shot down." But I mean, eventually you find someone that wants to talk to you.
right. You just gotta, I guess, just do it. Just throw yourself in there.
I know
I guess
not
that's
everyone's that like outgoing, but
yeah, I was definitely not that kid for sure. I was always to myself and stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty sick though that you have the courage to do that because
yeah.
I know I couldn't.
I mean, hopefully if you ever go on tour and you come to Milwaukee or Syracuse and Chris and I get to meet you, at least hopefully you're not too shy to, talk to us.
No, I'll talk to you guys for sure. Yes. So you guys said you're from like Milwaukee? Is that
I'm Milwaukee area, yes.
And I'm
okay?
from Syracuse.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, we're
That's
in
cool though.
different time zones.
That's so cool though.
Yeah, I just want to check. You guys can't hear my fan, right?
No.
Okay,
No,
I just had
we're
to
good.
reposition. I'm fucking sweating bullets
Dude,
down here. It's so hot.
that's me, dude.
My God.
I have a swamp cooler where I live. I don't even have an AC unit. Like
Well,
it sucks.
I've got an AC behind me, but then on the other side of these curtains, I've got a dehumidifier and that cranks out hot air. But like my back is covered in sweat right now. I've got my fan was blowing on my legs and I just repositioned it to my upper body. But that's
I
why
don't
I kept
know.
checking myself. I thought I was sweating.
It's funny,
Holy
Chris.
shit, it's
It's
hot.
funny. It's funny how the temps change. Like yesterday, I was sweating bullets. Today, it's like 74 and beautiful, and I'm just perfectly comfortable today.
No, 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 not out here. I live in the so like I'm in the LA County area, but I live in a city called Lancaster, which is an hour away from LA. So it's the desert and it's so hot out here. You have no idea, but it's like dry heat. I think where you guys live, it's like like humid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Oh,
humidity.
dude,
Yeah,
I
our
cannot.
so like humidity, they do it by like percentage. And obviously if it rains, it's 100. So that's like just how much moisture is in the air. When I walked my dog earlier today, they say for a comfortable humidity, it should be between like 45 and 55. It was 77% when I walked my dog earlier, and I went halfway around the block,
Heck
and I'm
no,
like covered in sweat. I'm like, we gotta go back.
dude. Heck no, man. There's no way. My friend just invited me to to Florida, and I said, "There's no way I'm going to Florida, bro. There's no way. I don't care if we're going by the beach, dude. That humidity, I'm a wuss when it comes to humidity.
No,
I've been in
Florida. I
nope.
lived there for about 2 years, and I call Florida's climate instant swamp ass. Like, just you're just immediately sweating down there, and it's
Dude, it sounds
not good.
horrible. It
See, and
sounds
humidity
horrible.
doesn't bother me that much. I like it warm. I hate winter.
I love the winter, man. Snow, that's my stuff.
Oh,
That's what I
see,
like.
You
he
know,
can come
come
through
live
Syracuse
here.
in
Come
winter.
live here or in Syracuse for like a year. Well, for well, however many months winter lasts.
Just come in the month of January and you'll change your mind. I promise.
Is it that bad?
Syracuse averages like 160 some odd inches a year, which is like one of the highest for like a metro area.
That seems like the dream, to be honest, man.
This
Dude,
past year, this past year was the third least snowiest though. I think we only got like 60 some odd inches, which is probably a lot to everyone else, but we're like,
It was pretty snowless in Wisconsin as well, so times are changing.
that's true. That's true.
All right. Now, enough about the weather
in Swamp Ass.
and swamp ass.
Swamp.
You've done a few collabs, and sticking with the nostalgia aspect, are there any bands from back in early 2000s, mid 2000s you'd love to collaborate with?
Oh, that's a good one. Is there like, can I choose from any band, or is there any tier, or like just
No, I
or
mean any
anyone?
band back
Anyone?
in those that like emo era,
Mayday Parade
Mayday Parade.
for sure. Mayday Parade is that guy's voice is, I don't know, man. Their music always hits me in the field, so I would love to collaborate with Mayday Parade
Hey, you never
for
know. You got to
sure.
dream big. So I mean, they may, if you contact them, who knows? Maybe they'll actually want to collab with you.
I mean, anything can happen, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
that's actually one of my biggest dreams. That would be insane, Mayday. Like, I'm sure.
Uh,
Do you guys like Mayday? I don't know,
yeah.
because
yeah,
dude, they're great, man.
Are you
I mean,
going to
next,
Sad Summer?
That just happened. That
And
just
you
happened out
didn't
here, and
go?
I did not go. I didn't even hear about it till the day of. I saw like an ad pop up on my Instagram, and I'm like, how did I not know this was happening? Like, what the heck?
I
And then
mean,
too, like,
you do post on social media a ton, so it's like it
I
kind of
do.
consumes your life sometimes.
It does. You have no idea. You
That's
have
how
no
you missed
idea.
it.
Probably. That's what it says. Once I'm like done posting my stuff, I'm like, I need to get off this, I kind of just strictly just
Yeah.
post too. And then I get it over with, and I'm like, I need to be in the real world for a little bit.
Yeah. If it makes you feel better, unfortunately, I couldn't get off work, so I can't go to it this Friday.
Oh,
I know I'm sad, but Chris is going.
I am. Yeah, ours isn't for almost a whole nother month.
dude, that's sick though, man. I I,
Yeah.
I wish I would have gone, and I don't think I'm down to fly out anywhere to see it. I don't think so.
Well, I was gonna say maybe next year. I mean, Sad Summer is Mayday Parade's baby, so I mean, they created that to fill that Warp Tour gap. So maybe
Right.
you can be one of the openers next year. Two
That's the
birds with
goal.
one stone, right there.
That and So What Festival. It's my goal for
In
next year for
Texas,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're doable.
I've always
For
wanted to
sure.
go to that in Texas.
Yeah,
Let's go
for
next year,
sure.
Jess. Me and you.
Maybe we can stay with Andre.
I say you guys do it. You've
I
never
know
been to
people
it?
in
You should check it out.
Texas. You're laughing,
Well,
but I do know other people as well. I bet we would have a place to stay, Chris. I bet.
I think for the 2 year anniversary, we don't do an episode. We make the Cincinnati show happen.
Yeah, the Cincinnati show.
2 year anniversary, dude. That'd be something for you guys.
We just hit 1 year. I mean, two
Dude,
days ago.
congrats.
Yeah,
Congrats.
1 year of the podcast. Going strong.
No,
And
that's
so
good. That's good.
yeah, and the running gag is so we've never met in person. We've been friends for a long time. We'll say via MySpace. And we
That's
again never met in
crazy.
person. We started doing the podcast, and now a bunch of the bands are like, "You got to meet." So a bunch of the bands we've interviewed that want us to meet up, we're like, "Well, halfway is Cincinnati." They're like, "We'll play a show in Cincinnati." Uh,
Dude, that's insane. You guys never met in person.
Nope.
You guys just been
no,
That's cool though. You guys
We've
still
been
keep in
friends
contact?
on social media ever since MySpace days.
Every friend from MySpace, I think they just vanished for me. Like we never stuck around. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but
I
I
think I
mean,
got
not everyone on MySpace converted over to like Facebook.
True.
yeah. I think I've got three. I've got Jess and I've got two others in California, and that's it.
I've got a bunch of MySpace friends on my Facebook.
Well, la-di-da, look at you go.
Look at me go. I still have my MySpace, but it's crap anyways. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like they made it into like a music platform or something. I forgot. I don't really know.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
like a
But
music platform and like a way for artists to connect with each other.
Right.
But like nobody uses it.
Nobody
So
uses that stuff. Yeah.
you can log into mine and all you see is like dead links everywhere. Like this picture doesn't work, this picture doesn't work, and it's just ridiculous.
MySpace was prime time social media. That's all
It
I gotta
was.
say.
It was.
It was.
I met Tom from
Yes.
MySpace live in person.
No freaking way.
Yeah, back in the day, he used to do those MySpace parties and he had one in Chicago. So me and a friend went down there. And of course, I met Tom and I got a picture with him. So,
That's crazy.
that
yep.
reminds me, have you seen the new reel that Dawn posted?
Yeah.
Any chance where they're standing out? They're like, "Do you know who Tom is?" They're like,
Yeah. I do.
You do.
uh,
I think didn't we talk to them about that on during our interview and I showed them a picture of me and
yeah.
Tom? Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. All right. So, in a subculture that can be drowned in subgenre labeling and gatekeeping at times, while also having a lot of genre bending and blending at the same time as of late. What do you think are the most important things for people to know about our subculture and its direction? I
Wow, that
know
was
the
just
heavy hitting questions.
yeah, that was a tough one.
One's a long
Hmm.
one.
I'm gonna
You're
need some
welcome.
help on that one. I'm gonna need some help. Honestly, I don't even know how to answer that question.
Maybe Chris can enlighten you
Oh
on that question.
man.
He wrote that one and I was just asking it because we like to split up the questions.
Sometimes the things I come up with while I'm on the exercise bike are just awesome, aren't they?
I, that
Yeah,
one hit
no.
me, dude.
Like it's crazy that in a like if you're let's say you're like out and about somewhere, right? And like you see another person like wearing some sort of like emo band shirt or something like that, and you're like, oh, awesome. But then if you like started drilling down into the bands that they would like, they'd be like, or like they're asking you, eventually they're gonna get one and they'll give you a face like, really? Or like, oh, that's shit. And it's so funny that we have this subculture that like bonds us all together, but then we're so quick to judge when somebody mentions one band that we're like, why would you like that? It happens
well,
so much. And then at the same time now, like we have so many bands, so many artists that are doing like, like emo rap or they're doing like metalcore EDM. And like there's so much like, bending. We're not defined by subgenres anymore, really. Um, like what would you think is an important thing for people to know that like, hey, this is our subculture and this is kind of where we're headed and who we really are kind of thing.
I mean, I think everybody's gonna always hate like new genres that come up, like there's gonna be stuff that people don't like and then others do like it. And I feel like you should just, let some people just be and don't get like offended by it in a way. That's my take on it. Like, just, I mean, that's just how it is, I think.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. There was an instance where I had a friend where we were catching up and I was like, oh, I really like Issues. And she looked at me, she's like, but they're so poppy. That's garbage. I'm
Poppy
like,
issues.
yeah,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've never really had something like that happen to me though. That's why it's kind of hard, like a hard question for me, because all of the close friends that I have, we all like the same stuff, so we never like kind of disagree on it or nothing. Or like, oh, you like that band? Oh, I hate that band. Like, that's never really happened to me, so that's why I'm like, kind of like, oh snap, I never had that
Well, that's
experience,
happened to
So
me.
maybe you and I need new friends, Jets.
Maybe. I've got
yeah,
friends
we're all.
that don't like bands I like, and I love them, and they've got bands they like that I just can't stand.
But then do they end up talking shit about the band to
Sometimes.
you? Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's I'm trying to really think if that's happened to me because yeah, I've this whole time I've never really had a friend tell me like, dude, that band sucks. Like, why are you listening to that? You know, we always just like the same stuff. We would actually just share our music together and then be like, oh, dude, I didn't even know that band existed or whatever. And then he'll introduce me to a new genre. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know,
Yeah, I know there's one genre that's trying to make a comeback, I feel like, and that's crabcore.
crabcore. I actually, speaking of crabcore, me and my friend have a side project of a crabcore band called Broadway Showdown, and we just finished our album for that. So we're gonna drop that, and we're actually gonna do like main collabs with our projects that we have now. Like Lil Used and For When You Can't Breathe are gonna drop like that album with Broadway Showdown, which is it's gonna be sick. I think the album's great.
Uh-oh, Chris, we're gonna have to check out
No,
this album.
I also just had a great idea. How about like a pop-up crab restaurant that plays hardcore and like metalcore music, and you just call it Crabcore?
Dude, that's actually iconic. Dude, and just themed of like 2010 bands.
Yeah.
Asking Alexandria, Attack Attack. Dude, that's sick. That's actually dope.
We come up with some great ideas on this podcast. First we had emo love, and now you have this crab place.
Yeah.
Ah, funny stuff. I only brought up crabcore because I've been seeing a lot more posts on social media about it, and I'm like, apparently they're trying to make a resurgence of crabcore. And now you telling me you have a side project, so now I gotta look out for that.
Yes, it's gonna be pretty dope. It's like it's kind of like doing the whole like 2008 to through like 2013 kind of sound. So trying to bring that back, which I used to love that sound as well. So that's what I'm doing. I just do music for like what I love, you know. So
As you should.
so it's always gonna be that way. I think, even though if emo were to die again, I'll still keep making emo music as well.
Well, it'll never die in our little emo hearts, so
Exactly. Dude, I'm gonna be an old man just singing my heart out still. Like all the emo throwback songs. That's just a crazy thought. Imagine being 80 and these songs are like you're still listening to the same songs from
yeah. I kind of
2001.
think about that sometimes. I'm like, MXPX has been around for 30 years. They're gonna
That's
be how
insane.
old when it's like been 50 years?
That's actually insane. That scares me. I don't know. Oh, I got dude, aging. I don't know. It
What is
hits me
that?
different.
I don't know. People always say I look younger than I am, so I'm taking it.
Yeah, you look like you're 25.
Oh, well, thanks. You're my new favorite person now. That's the youngest I've been told lately.
Uh,
All right, Chris, back to our program.
all right. I'll remember to wish you a happy 26th birthday this year. So this one's a little bit different, right? So I'll preface it as Johnny Depp says that he got his inspiration for his mannerisms for Jack Sparrow from Keith Richards. Do you have any influences for your stage presence?
Bert from The Used, man. Taking Back Sunday, Matt for sure. Um, but definitely Bert from The Used. His like, I remember the first time I saw him, like in a music video, and it was a long time ago. I think it was on MTV, and I saw him, and or it what I think it was actually a video on YouTube of him playing on Warp Tour, and I was like, that was like my biggest influence on the whole stage presence. So, like the whole twisting the mic, like
Yeah.
spinning that thing, just going crazy on stage because I scream in my music. So I think my screams are kind of similar to his. So I kind of like imitated his hand movements and everything. So for sure, Burt McCracken
Was it
from
was
the
it
Used.
the video from Warped Tour where he jumped off the giant speaker?
I think so. It's actually like a mix of like Sonny Moore and like Burt and from Taking Back Sunday for sure. All those three bands are definitely my biggest influence for my stage presence and like the way that I talk to people in the crowd. So Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. But Bert is the main one for sure.
Bert's the
Like,
main one. Now,
yeah.
Chris, we've talked about like him jumping off the speaker. Now, did that happen only at my Milwaukee show?
No, he did it every stop in
I was
O
gonna
three.
say, I think he did it everywhere because I had a
Every stop.
picture of him jumping off of it with my little disposable camera. It's really bad.
Bro, do you still have those pictures?
Oh yeah, they're horrible.
They're horrible.
They were on a disposable camera and I wasn't very close, but I do have a picture of him like falling off, like jumping off the speaker.
Oh, or the singer from Taking Back Sunday, how he would hang from the side. I don't know if you guys seen those videos when he would like hang on his back
I
and like
think
upside
so.
down, which and
Yeah.
then he would like jump off, I think, which is insane, dude. I don't think I could. I mean, I think I would do something like that with like a couple drinks or something, and then you'll catch me on the top. Like man, it's just about
Yeah,
having fun too on
it is about
stage, you
having
know?
fun. I mean, we had a local band in Milwaukee called Since by Man, and that lead singer, he used to like, if it was a small show, he would get up in like the rafters of the show and like literally hang upside down and stuff. He was crazy. But it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
made for a great show.
I saw Since by Man when they opened for Silverstein and Under Oath on the Discovering the Waterfront tour.
Yeah, do you remember him being a crazy singer?
Yeah, he hung upside down on on the light, whatever they are. I
Dude, they
don't.
do
It's
not
not a
care about.
rafter, but
Yeah, I've seen like quite a few artists do that kind of stuff, and then they jump off from like the speaker all the way to the crowd, like crowd surfer, and it's a pretty big distance too. Like if you miss that jump, dude, like you're done.
Yeah, you better jump good. Bert was
Yeah,
playing with fate every time he jumped off there.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know if I would like risk it, but in the moment when you're having a good time, you just feel that adrenaline kick in. So it's like anything happens, I feel.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, I mean, it does. I felt it before, so, but I haven't done anything extreme like that, which I think I might do it, Maybe if I play um SOA Festival, then something
There
like
you
that
go.
might happen.
You have to see how the stage is there, you know,
Yeah, you got to
what you
scope it
can
out before
do.
you
You got to
play.
scope it out.
Yeah, you have to prepare.
just bring a tape measure with you. Measure the distance between the stage and the barricade. Security asks what you're doing. I just got to know.
Actually, no, you should contact them ahead of time and be like, so what's the distance from here and here? Because I want to practice jumping prior to
You're
the
just
show.
Just
that's
imagine like backstage, like next to the band, just like measuring out the distance and giving it a couple practice
dude.
shots.
That would actually be funny though.
Uh,
Dude, the calling is wild. Yo, give me the distance from here to there. That's
They'd probably be like, why do you want to know this information?
right.
Then they'd be like, sorry, but you can't do that. They'd ruin it for you. So I
They
guess don't
would.
ask them first.
Well, that's why you
Just
don't tell
do
them what
it.
you're going to do.
Just
Just
do
gotta
it.
just do it. Just do it.
So
That's
if
a
you
good
could go,
question though. Oh, sorry.
it's fine. So if you could go on tour with 3 bands or artists, who would you pick and why?
Um, I would pick number one, this artist named Lil Lotus. He's like kind of doing the similar stuff that I do. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lil Lotus.
I think I've heard of them.
And Nothing Nowhere. That's my second pick. And then an iconic band, The Used would be sick.
I was wondering if you were going to say The Used.
The Used would be epic. Like that would be insane.
The Used and Lil Used
Lil
together.
Used and The Used. That would be iconic. Yeah, so those are my 3 picks, for sure. So Lil Lotus, Nothing Nowhere, and The Used, for sure. That's the dream. And if it could be all 3 of them at the same time, that
Well,
would be
yeah,
great.
this is a tour. You're putting together this tour. You're all going on tour together.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's the dream.
So
Never know.
I'm just kind of curious. When I was taking a look at your merch, a lot of it was definitely quite obviously inspired by that old school emo vibe. Where did you pull some of that inspiration from?
Exactly what you said, man. Like old school bands. like trying to get that nostalgic feel of shirts that I would wear in high school when I first started listening to emo music. And yeah, that the nostalgic emo stuff, man, that's like I really wanted to capture that, and I feel like I did. And I mean, I do have some more merch that are even more in that realm too. So I think they're a little better than the ones I got out. So that's gonna drop next month. So
Well, I mean,
I'm really excited for this.
we were talking about being 80 and listening to the music. That ancient emo shirt just fit perfectly.
Dude, I started doing like a elder emo. I don't know if you guys seen the videos that I post, like summoning elder emos.
Yes.
And then I started doing a thing where like summoning ancient emo. So like I changed it up a bit. And I think the ancient is funnier than elder. I don't know. I thought it was funnier to do it that way. And then I got influenced by that shirt and I was like, I made like a mummy, an emo mummy holding like a rose in a coffin because of ancient. So I thought it was pretty cool. So
So then let's see, what would classify as ancient emo? Someone like at a certain, like what age bracket is ancient emo?
30 and up.
What? Then I'm ancient, not elder anymore? Oh, you're making me feel older.
Well, elder and ancient are the same thing. It just sounds funnier when it's just ancient to me. I
I
think
don't
it
know.
sounds
I don't
pretty
see
funny.
myself as an ancient person.
Well, it's not okay. You're not ancient. I'm just saying
You're the most ancient 25-year-old I know.
Oh,
there.
thanks.
There you go, dude. Thanks for the save, Chris. Thanks for the save, dude.
Um,
That's
Lots of
actually
laughs
so
tonight.
funny.
I did have a quick question. It's I didn't write it down, but I wanted to ask. I saw that you actually had an LP pressed. How how difficult is that as a small artist? Like I
Okay,
mean,
it's difficult. If I were to actually print like physical vinyls and CDs and all that stuff, it would be pretty expensive for like an independent artist. But the way that I go about it is a third party website that every order that somebody purchases, they print it out and they ship it. Like so it's per order. So that's the way that I can do it. Cause I mean, dude, it'll get so expensive. I looked into it of printing actual physical ones for myself, like to sell. Dude, it gets up there, dude. So this way, I don't really pay much. So that's the route that I went, which sucks because when I play shows, I don't have that with me. And even with the merch, like I have a couple merch designs that I printed, but dude, it can get really pricey for like an independent artist, man.
Mhm.
And yeah, but that's the way that I've been doing it, and it's been working pretty well. So um I'm gonna keep doing that.
yeah, I was curious because I remember when we had Mike Herrera on, he was talking about um wasn't it when Taylor was getting ready to print all her new LPs, I think. And he's like, yeah, like when they're pressing those LPs, there's only like a couple factories within the US that's still making them. And like once they put in those orders, it's impossible to get anything pressed. Um,
Yeah.
so was that Mike? I can't remember.
I
No, that
want to
sounds
say
about right
yes
though.
because we were talking because a friend of mine wanted to know if he was going to be making like a vinyl of one of his records. And he said
Yeah,
he
no,
already has one.
no, but it is pricey, man. Like, especially like I said, for independent artists, by yourself, dude, all that stuff can go to the thousands, for sure. And then you're always risking because you have to order like in a big bulk if
Yeah.
you're gonna purchase stuff like that to get it cheaper. But then they ask for like a lot. You have to purchase a lot of them to get the deal. So, and then you risk, being an independent artist, not selling those, and you're kind of like, you spent all that money for what,
Right. That's the same for
just
a lot of things, though. Like we ordered stickers and business cards for the podcast, and it's like the more you order, the more you save.
exactly. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. So I went that route of just per order, they print it. That's why the LPs are pretty pricey, like the vinyls. It's just because that's how I had to do it. Because then they charge a lot to print those vinyls. It's like $50 to print
Yeah,
each.
I was just shocked to see that you even had it available. So that I thought that
Right.
was pretty cool that you even had it available. Um,
Right.
as a someone who collects vinyl, like a $60 price tag doesn't shock me at all at this point.
Yeah, everything went up, man.
Yeah,
Sadly.
Yeah, you're telling me
So
I wanted a Story of the Year hoodie at Phase Fest and it was $75. I was like, what?
that's insane. Yeah. And that's in person?
Yeah.
yeah. Merch cuts are real these days. Like, especially if you go to like a Live Nation venue, like a t-shirt, you're talking
Right.
45, $50.
Because they charge the bands
They charge the
whatever.
bands and now they staff the merch area themselves. So now
Wow.
they're really justifying merch cuts.
You know,
But
at Phase Fest, they had their own merch guy, but I don't think
but I
Phase
mean,
Fest was a Live Nation one.
no, but I mean, hey, if a Live Nation venue is charging that much, they're going to be able to charge it everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually insane, man. That's like the downfall. Imagine like I said, you're an independent artist that's like barely making enough and like they still charge you. That's like crazy, man. That's crazy to think. That's why, a lot of independent artists like stop doing what they love doing because it gets expensive, dude. And I've been so blessed that like everything's been going pretty well for me. So I'm definitely blessed on that end.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So we did dabble a little talking a little bit about MySpace. What are your thoughts on social media today versus back in the day?
It was just simpler, man. It was fun to be on MySpace. And like I wasn't an artist in MySpace days, so I don't really know that aspect of it. But
Right.
I know now as a musician with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you got to be on all that stuff. When MySpace bands popped off for just having fun posting on there, which I feel like it was just fun. It was fun to be on MySpace and it was just a good time. I feel like
Yeah,
from what I
social
remember,
media is a lot
takes a
tougher
toll
now
on
than it
you.
was back then.
It is much different. Everything's like, TikTok, you're scrolling. It could just be endless. You could keep going for hours and hours. And I feel like with MySpace, like, yeah, you were on MySpace, but you would talk to people on there and like make friends. Out here, it's like you're just watching videos nonstop. So you
It's
you're
true.
s- you're developing an addiction, I feel,
Oh,
nowadays
it is
with social
addicting.
media.
Social media
Yeah,
is
for
definitely
sure.
an addiction.
Yeah. Even much more now, for
Yeah.
sure.
Now, speaking more of social media, I saw that you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That that video was funny to make. Like I had an idea. My dude, for When You Can't Breathe, he made like a Taco Bell one. I don't know if you guys seen that one or heard of it, but it was like a meme, and he sings about Taco Bell. And then we were talking about it, and he's like, "You should try making one." And we came up with the idea of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I tried it out, and yeah, it was fun to do.
It's funny because we actually had a friend of mine on who's from Milwaukee. He used to be a juggler and now he's a comedian, and we had him on our podcast. And him and a friend of his made a Cinnamon Toast Crunch wrap back in the day.
Oh, okay. Hey, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best cereal out there. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, it was a great wrap. He said, didn't he say General Mills actually wanted to like buy that song out?
Yeah, they want. Was it
Crazy.
General Mills or was it MTV?
One of the two. Someone wanted to buy it and
And he said
he said
no.
no.
He said no. Wow.
He was young
Couldn't,
and naive.
dude. Yes, I think a lot of us were naive when we were young.
He could
But
have
yeah,
Dude,
been.
you should totally check out his rap because it's pretty darn good.
He could have
no,
been
I'll check it
rolling in
out.
that breakfast cereal money,
Endless Cinnamon Toast Crunch for
right?
life.
Oh, wait, he did say, didn't he say they sent him a pallet of Cinnamon Toast
They
Crunch?
sent him a pallet of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
General Mills
That
did.
I'm assuming the video went viral then, right?
It was very popular. I don't
I
know how
mean,
Yeah.
viral it went. I'd have to
as
look
viral as
again.
you as viral as you could for what was that, 07,
Oh God, no,
oh
that was
08
like
maybe?
16 years ago. Yeah, 17
Oh,
years ago.
snap.
I'm gonna
Bro,
look it
that's
up
a
now.
while back.
Chris is Googling it. Don't worry.
Well, when I worked at a call center when I lived in Tampa, um, I showed my coworker the video, and he absolutely fell in love with it. So it was at least, what was that, 2009 I started working there. 17 years ago it was posted.
That's crazy.
It's only
That's
got
such
158,000 views.
Yeah, unless
but for
is that the original post?
I don't know.
I don't know.
but for
The-
back then, that's pretty, I don't know. I think that's pretty good.
Probably for back then, yeah, because that would have been MySpace days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Early
on
Facebook days.
it's on Marcus
Facebook.
Monroe's
Yeah.
page. He's got the lyrics posted beneath it.
Yep. It's a great rap.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
a
check it
great
out
video.
after
It's
this.
hilarious. The video's funny.
I gotta take a listen. I'm gonna
We'll
take some
send you the link.
influence.
We'll send you the
Yeah,
link.
I'll put the link in the chat down below.
Okay,
You can check her out.
I'll check that out after.
That way you don't have to
for sure.
follow it. See, because you made your own Cinnamon Toast Crunch song, and there already was one, but it was a rap.
See, I didn't even know about it.
You didn't know about it.
I did
Now-
not know about it.
Now here's the most epic collab ever. Going off about CTC. Just you two get together and make a Cinnamon Toast Crunch new song combined. When General Mills hits you up, you take the money.
Dude, yes, you got to, man. You know, because it's just a meme video, and like, why not make money off of it or something? If you get the opportunity, you know.
Right. I know that Marcus's was like literally a video though. Like he's
music
on like a
video.
rooftop and
Yeah.
doing all sorts of
Oh,
stuff.
He went all out.
Him and his friend went all out.
Yeah, it's like 2 minutes or so long. It's pretty great.
It's great. It is.
See,
Check
maybe
it out.
maybe if I would have done a 2-minute music video for it, it would have done good. A full music video for Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And now for the most important question, the one everyone wants to know the answer to. What is your favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex for sure, dude. You see how big those things and aggressive, and then their little hands. Dude, for sure, a T-Rex, man. That's always been my favorite dinosaur. You know, if I had to choose, for sure, a T-Rex.
Yeah. I've always picked Brachiosaurus. It's
That's
a
good
long
one, too.
neck. It's a long
That
neck.
or Raptor for sure. Raptors are pretty dope. But T-Rex takes the win.
It's a good dinosaur. I mean, it does have a big head and little arms.
It looks cool from what we know. But
I actually have a sticker on the back of my car. It's a T-Rex, and it says, "Your stick family was delicious," and it's eating a stick family.
see, I need that sticker in my car.
Because I always think those stickers on the back of cars is just lame. Like, oh, way to tell everyone how many kids you have that they could abduct.
But do people actually
Wow.
still use those stick family stickers?
I
I
still
haven't
see
seen them in a
them.
while.
I
I
see
still
them.
see some.
I see them even
What
out
I-
here in Cali.
What I see now is just a sticker that says family. I'm just- okay.
Dude, sometimes I think the most I've seen was like 15 of those stick figures. I was like, there's no way you have 15 kids, dude. Like, why? Why even put it out there? Like, why?
That's a lot of children to steal.
Maybe
Oh my God.
I should just order the stick family stickers and just put them all over my back window, just with no purpose. Just
I have
Yeah,
seen
I get
people
that,
with
man.
the stick family where it's like stick dogs and stuff and cats.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. But
There's all sorts of different stick families out there, but I resonated with the delicious one with the T-Rex eating them.
yeah, that one's cool. That one's cool.
So when I get a new car, I'm gonna have to get a new sticker. So, well, that was our last very important question, was the dinosaur question. Is there anything
dude, hell
else you
yeah.
would like to add to anyone listening or watching?
Yes. I'm actually already working on another album for next year. So for Lil Used. Still, it's gonna be like the same kind of similar sound. So another 10-song album, which I'm super excited. I'm just like trying to pump out the most music I can and since I'm feeling very inspired in the moment, you know,
Yeah.
trying to get ahead of the game. So, you know, anybody listening, got another album coming out soon. So, you know, be stoked for that.
Yeah.
And
What
thank you
is
for having
inspiring
me.
you these
Um,
days?
honestly, I'm in a point in my life right now where everything's kind of good. You know, I have my girlfriend and my family. All that inspires me. You know, everything when everything's just fine, like I just feel like just writing. You know, when everything's calm. You know, so that's what's inspired me right now.